Well, I've been having some trouble with my 1970s Coleman furnace, and I'm contemplating switching it out for this 1990s Suburban furnace in my camper. Uh, much smaller unit here, but probably about the same BTUs. Not really wanting to swap them out because I have to reconfigure everything. But I would hope at least a newer one may be more efficient. Use the same amount of power. So either way, today I'm going to tear into the 1970s Coleman and see if we can find any issues. Not going to go too deep into it, just going to pull it out and see what we find. I'm a little hesitant on replacing this because usually you need some number of feet of gas line that's the proper size, like with water heaters and what have you. So I'd really like to replace it, see if the other one's more efficient, but honestly, for the hassle of remounting a whole nother unit when I've already got this in here, so we'll just pull the guts out and see what we got going on. So here's how the old furnace comes apart. There's just a plug-in right here. It's a little inconveniently located. Turn off the gas. I got the gas turned off out at the tank and turn the other pepcock off. This one's off. That just goes to the stove. When you're sliding this unit out, these wires kind of get in the way. There's no real way to tuck them up there. These would tuck out of the way. Good, this fits. Is this 3/4? Yeah. Used to not be so hard to turn. It's under a little tension or something. So it's funny, copper usually isn't used as a gas line, but it's fine with propane. It's not good with natural gas. And I got a call like a winter or two ago, and somebody had a natural gas line leaking. They wanted it flared like these are. So I go down there. This wasn't a professional job. This was just helping somebody get by. And so we all crawl under there. And that copper line was thin. It was like dust on the inside, very thin. There's lots of holes in it, pinholes. They're still running it. And so we go and we cut back some and flare it, and it's all torn up. Cut it back some more, it's still torn up. So we got it to seal the best we could with very minimum air bubbles. So they keep talking about moving, but probably won't anytime soon. I'm wondering if a piece of a mud dauber's nest didn't get sucked in there or something. No clue. Usually this furnace will just slide right out, but it's getting worse over time, so I had to turn it upside down and knock it out of there. Alright, yep. That's how that's done. A little bit of rust in there. I was kind of wondering if one of these switches weren't clicking on and off a bunch. This one's an adjustable one I bought because the old ones went out. This is like a sensitive breaker, and this is kind of your on-off temperature switch for the fan. So let's see if we can plug this in. I can hear that thing clicking on and off that I believe is the issue. I wonder if it isn't the gas valve. I like to think it's just some debris in the fan originally. If the gas valve's bad, I think this thing would probably be junk without finding a new one. You could probably find something to replace it, but not really worth it for me. Well, you can hear all these. See, I don't know what that is in there. Sounds like there's another switch hidden in there, but there's not. Sail switch is still working. Sounds like when that hits on, it communicates with the gas valve. So I'll probably clean this out and then just kind of mock up for the new furnace, the 1990 Suburban furnace. Just in case this one goes out. I've heard people say popping sounds can be coming from in there, in the burn chamber. But really, with how this is built, I don't foresee that being an issue. Nice and rusty in there. That's for sure. Yeah, it's funny, people have talked really great over the years of Coleman. I mean, this seems like a good machine, but boy, the way they're running that shop over there in Wichita. Nothing but bad news over there. Can't find a screw for this. Probably should have disconnected these wires while I was in there. Get in the way. See, that slid in nice. That's pretty much it. It'd be nice to have some screws to throw in all these, you know, special places. I think I bent my gas line while I was wrestling this thing. Yeah, it ain't looking as good as it was. That's the other thing. I had this backed off the wall so far, and so that kind of shows where this gas line's supposed to be at based on that. Sandstorm. All right, let's go out back and hook up the exhaust. Hi, Lacey girl. Excuse me. Watch out, girl. I don't have the rest of this, but when I pulled this out of the camper, I didn't think I was ever going to use it. I believe this one actually came from that Itasca there. All right. Gas should be on. I don't crank it all the way open. It's pretty much all the way open. When I go get propane refilled, those dudes, they get out pliers and try to crank valves down. I'm just like, take it easy, man. Gas to the stove. Now with trash on the stove, we'll get some of the air out of lines here. It's interesting, you know, you got a lot of this yellow flame. It's better than it was last year, but the furnace is doing really well. It's got like nothing but blue flame. Before it was, you know, like a little match tip like that, except for a little worse. So definitely cleared out a lot of the debris out of it. Okay, let's see if I can do this single-handedly for you. Push in a little bit. Rotate to about that point. That on. Push this in. Boom. You gotta hold this for a little while while it warms up the thermocouple, which mine's been pretty warmed up one day. Not really supposed to take this off, but when you need it lit fast. And then slowly turn this up. That's how I read it in the manual. I shook up a lot of the debris in there, so now it's got all sorts of stuff flying around in there, but I don't hear that sound anymore. I'm hoping there's just a little bit of debris that kept getting kicked up in the fan. Yeah, flame doesn't look as gray as it did, but I think we're going to call that fixed for now. Start figuring out the new furnace. I'm gonna continue to try to run this old 1970s Coleman, and hopefully it hangs on at least one more season and I can find something else to live in. So till then, I'll keep you guys updated on what happens with the old Coleman.